I chose this project because I saw that there was a need for people with special disabilities to have the resources to better their education and social abilities. I have worked with the Nashville Dolphins for almost 3 years now, and I can't express in words the impact we have on them. I also worked with Gigi's Playhouse tutoring a 6-year-old boy named Michael. While working with him, I realized that it's harder for people with a disability to read or do basic everyday skills. The best thing about doing this project is the connections you make with the people you are working with. I have seen one specific child grow and progress in his swimming, and that's because someone was there to help him and push him to be better. I loved every minute of it. I really encourage people to do Service Scholar. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it when you make the connections that will last you a lifetime.
I worked with an organization called Musicians on Call, and they're a nationwide nonprofit who brings music to the bedsides of patients at healthcare facilities. And I chose it because music has brought so much to me and helped me so much throughout growing up, so I knew that if it had helped me that much, then it must have helped even more for them. So I just really wanted to bring something that I loved to people who needed it most.
I worked with Bellevue Middle School in Bellevue, Tennessee, and then I also worked with World Leadership School in Pisco Pucho, Peru. I focused on the importance of education in societies, and I compared the developing world of Peru and then the developed world of the United States, and compared the two school systems and how education affects society.
So Caroline and I went to Heifer International over the summer, and we really chose it because we were just kind of looking for something new and different that we hadn't really heard of through service learning at school.
A lot of the Ensworth core skills were built into the program that Heifer International had going on down there at their ranch.
The most unique thing was their Global Village program, because they had separate little camps and environments set up throughout some of their land, and they each represented a different culture or a different country that struggles with poverty.
And also we learned, on a funnier note, that trying to get piglets in in a pen is a lot harder than it seems.
I went to Haiti for my service project with My Life Speaks, and they work with orphan care and prevention, public health, and education. The best thing was being able to build relationships with the people I was working with, and just learning that they're no different than I am, and being able to go back and visit them and be able to call them my friends.
I worked with an organization called Saddle Up, which works with special needs children and those with disabilities, and it teaches them how to ride horses therapeutically. My biggest takeaway from the entire thing was that patience and perseverance are what lead one to be successful no matter the restraints or disability one has. I focused on how therapeutic riding benefits those with disabilities, and I definitely saw such improvement on attitude and confidence from the children.
I went to Nations Ministry Center, and I went there because I'd been going there for a while, for a few years before, and I really just wanted to learn more about the refugees here in Nashville and the refugee crisis that's going on right now in the world. Definitely learned how the children that I worked with, they were such quick learners, because I saw throughout the year how much their English improved, and so it was amazing just to see how much they improved with that and how much more they learned throughout the year.
So I worked with Daystar Counseling Ministries, which is in Middle Tennessee. I specifically worked with their summer camp called Camp Hopetown. One of the biggest things I learned was about trust and friendship, and about at the beginning of the camp, none of the girls, I worked with middle school girls, none really wanted to share or talk about their struggles or really talk about anything with you, but through the week, as you cooked with them and talked with them and did activities with them, as you built the friendship and trust, they would open up to you, and that's when you could get the most across to them and learn the most from them. And so I just learned that in any relationship you go with, you need to build the friendship and the trust first before you can do any work.